Welcome to Module 3 of the Deadly Sins of the Six-Figure Product Launch. In this module, we are going to be talking about the consequences of failure to get a reliable multi-point help desk in place and mind them. This is one of the big mistakes, one of the deadly sins most people make in doing a product launch that prevent them from reaching six figures. Okay, you can have a product launch without taking care of some of these mistakes, but if you want to make six figures, you need to mind these deadly sins. And one of them is failure to get a reliable multi-point help desk in place prior to your launch. All right, this is very important because I'm talking about failure to get several customer service points set up prior to having your launch and monitoring them. Because if you are going to have a six-figure launch, depending on your price point, you have to reckon that at least 20% of people who are going to be buying your products are going to be looking for you on the help desk. They're going to be looking for help, particularly if it's a software. All right, that's the way I calculated it. So when we were planning the launch and we started throwing figures around, and we are saying we want to make 2,000 sales during the 5-day launch, because our entry point was really not cheap. We had a $297 product on the front end, and we had a $197 upsell and a $47 upsell. So we are looking at very close to $500 plus in terms of the total sales figure we're looking at per product, per sale. So I told them if we really want to sell 2,000 units, then that means we must have something in place to manage maybe 400 people over a 2-day period. You know, they didn't believe me. They didn't think I was serious. But I knew from logistics that if you are going to have a software launch, that is the kind of idea of a rough calculation. I didn't even factor in the fact that our software was going to have problems, in which case we had almost 100% of the people trying to get in touch with our help desk, and it was a nightmare. Okay, so you must cover different areas of customer support convenient for your customer. I mean, I knew this part. I knew from reading some of the books on product launch before our launch that the help desk is very critical, particularly during the launch, just to help people who might be having problems with logging in, with mastering the software and all that. But I had no idea of the frenzy that will happen with Mobimatic. And because our software crashed the very first day into it, we had an avalanche of people trying to get help of our support. So you need to have help desk in place that is convenient for your members, because most of them are on Facebook. And once they start having problem and there is no support on Facebook, guess what? They're going to start talking trash on their Facebook walls, and that will further damage your credibility. So we had one. We had a Mobimatic mastermind. You also want to have a live chat, because live chats tend to calm nerves down a little bit during the launch. Because if somebody is having problems and he comes in and is able to chat with a live person, then the tendency is that the cancellation rates will be lower, because now they are talking to human beings who can calm them down, who can help them attend to their problems. And you also want to have an email support where people can send emails about their problems, and then you'll be in a position to answer them. I mean, for Mobimatic, we basically thought we had this covered. We had a Facebook page to deal with customer service problems. We had a live chat for support, and we also had the email. All right? So you have to train effective customer service personnel that know your product and are technical. You don't just get freelancers who will keep passing up the problems. All right? We had about 20 help desk support staff when we launched, out of which maybe about 5 are the very technical ones who can really solve technical problems on the fly. The rest of the 15 are basically your regular customer support staff who know maybe how to send you your login password, who can answer 1 or 2 questions about the product. But when our product failed and everything collapsed out there because of the weight of customers and because of coding problems, many of our help desk support people could really not cope with the problems they were having. All right? despite the fact that they've used the products for at least 2 months before then, many of them were not technical people. So when people started coming up with problems about being able to access the image, being able to connect the white label, many of them were out of their depth. So, and they had to keep passing it up to more technical personnel who in the end got overwhelmed themselves, because when you have 5 very good technical personnel trying to deal with 1,000 people, it was a recipe for disaster. Despite the fact that I planned for this, I thought 20 people were going to be enough, but I didn't factor in the fact that a lot of it is going to be technical. And you need to know that if you are doing software, because people are not as smart as you think they are when it comes to softwares. Some will even call you and say their software is not working. Meanwhile, they have not even logged in to the software. That sounds crazy, but I got a couple of those. All right, they get to your page, and then I don't know what they expect the software to start doing. Then they come to you and they say the software is not working, and you ask them, okay, can I have your login information so that you can get into their software and help them look at their problem? And then they tell you, oh, I don't have my login information. And I'm like, okay, so how did you log into the software? Then they come back and tell you, oh, I'm supposed to log in. So you have to be ready for all of that. So we had Mobimatic helpdesk warriors battling on the live chat and on Facebook Mastermind, while I handled the toll-free number myself. Yes, I forgot. You also need to have a toll-free number. We had one that rings directly to my cell phone. And since I'm in the US, I actually handled those calls myself. All right, while we had people on the live chat on Facebook Mastermind. And then the support email, despite the fact that we set it up before the launch as one more way that people can report problems they're having. But in the panic, when we got mobbed by people who are having problems with their software, we forgot the support emails, believe it or not. In the panic, all those 20 people we had, plus myself and my partner and 2 other people, so we have about 24 people who are really hustling this helpdesk problem. But in the panic, in the avalanche, we forgot the support emails. And then we also forgot that we had another Facebook page. Apparently, we had 2 of them, but we were focusing on only the one that was made for support, the Facebook Mastermind. What happened was that lots of people were going to the other Facebook page that was not set up for support, and they were posting their problems there. We were not even aware of this for 2 days. The support email that we set up, support at mobimatic.io, we totally forgot about it. Everybody was on the live chat, and everybody was on the Facebook Mastermind chat. And so we are a lot of people posting emails to us, sending emails to us. For 2-3 days, they never got a response. And they thought we were the worst customer service people they ever had. Meanwhile, we were on a minute-to-minute service on the live chat, as well as the Facebook closed Facebook support group. So what we ended up having is that we had 2 sets of customers. Those who use the email option or the general Facebook page that we didn't even pay attention to, thought our customer service was atrocious, since they never got a response for days. And many of the early cancellations were from there, and we didn't even know that early enough. Because when they post that, they send us an email about their problem, nobody responds. They go to the Facebook page, nobody's responding. So they thought we were a kind of a scammy organization, or that we don't know what we are doing. So a lot of them cancel. On the other hand, those who use the live chat option and the mastermind thought we had the best customer service they had ever seen. And many on those forums actually rescinded their cancellation requests. Believe it or not, we had many of them canceling their cancellation requests where they saw how hard our guys are trying or were trying on the live chat and on the mastermind. So basically, we had a great system going in the live chat and in the Facebook chat support, while we completely missed it in the support email and the general Facebook page. So the moral of this is that mind your helpdesk options and prepare for battle. Basically, you need to know them. If you have to narrow down, if I were to do it over, I will make sure we only have 1 on Facebook, not 2. All right. And then I will have my live chat and my support ticket. Or maybe I'll just have only the support ticket and then have all my helpdesk people focusing on that, because I think despite the fact that you having multi-point support system was good, it overtasked our people. All right. So in retrospect, I'm still thinking about it. Whether when I have my next launch, I'm not even going to have a live support. We are still trying to do a survey after that to see if that really helped as much as we thought it did. But bottom line is, you want to make sure you have your help desk in place. Make sure you anticipate the number of requests you might get based on your expectations, and make sure you have enough good people who are very familiar with your product before you launch. All right. If I had to do it over now, I will make sure that everybody on the help desk is trained on many of the technical questions that may pop up. At least maybe the top 10 technical questions. We will anticipate it and make sure that everybody we put on the help desk can actually solve that problem. We didn't do that. And we just thought having people on there who can speak good English, who can respond to people is good enough. It wasn't. And lots of customers were frustrated because they could not get answers to their technical questions immediately, simply because the person they're speaking to is not technical. And then many of them also got pissed off because they went to a different support option that we were even forgot about. So you want to make sure you have all your help desk support options in place, and make sure you have people to man them and have a roster ready so that your people are not run ragged or tried to death. In our own case, I mean, we had our guys literally working 24 hours, at least the first couple of days, because we were not organized into putting them into shifts. I never thought that was going to be an issue. All right, but now I know better. You got to have your support desk staff in place. Then you need to put them in shifts so that they can rotate and the people can have rest. This was very critical, I'll tell you, because our help desk support, I call them the heroes of the launch, despite the fact that many of them were not very technical, but they were hustling. They were there. They were staying with their customers and they were finding solutions, fighting the technical people to provide solutions. They did a great job considering the limitations that I put in their way, because I never thought this through enough. But with the little they knew, they did a great job. Many of them worked 24 hours, 3 straight days. And you don't have to go through that. You simply need to sit down well, anticipate that half of the people that you sell to will come to you for one support or the other, particularly if you're selling software, and you need to be on top of it and be ready.